Hey, Jer.
Hey, Mike.
How's it going, buddy?
Funny to find you here.
Yeah, we're here in the studio again.
Up in the stud with my dudes.
Yeah. So it looks like we're back here just doing a recap show of the best of 2025.
Don't worry, you don't got to listen to us talk today. According to Drake, we've got some good business advice, some funny stuff, some profound stuff.
Yeah.
A little bit of everything. Just to recap 2025, look back, see what we got, and ultimately, celebrate the success of all these people and companies that we work with.
Yeah, and we want to thank everybody who's been on here and, in this studio on this podcast and anybody who's been following us.
And see you in 2026, a.k.a. Monday.
What does it mean to plant your flag? It means you're not afraid.
It means you're passionate about what you do.
It means you're here to serve others.
In business, in life.
In good and bad.
You aren't afraid to fly your colors proudly because you know
you serve a greater purpose. This is the Plant Your Flag podcast with Mike Bean
and Jeremy Mountain. Here, what would you say in terms of the thought or the perspective of starting a business or planting their own flag?
Do the research and find your market. When we started this, we didn't know how big this market was going to grow. It was very niche. It's not as niche anymore. It's becoming more and more popular, especially, through the pandemic when they needed additional places to shower and to go to the bathroom and, things like that. So if you can think it, you can do it, but you just need to make sure you do it the right way. Find the right market. It may not be New York. It may be someplace else. Find the right partners, find a mentor, find, a company that you want to be like. If you're wanting to sell widgets, find out who the number one widget seller is. What did they do? Where did they start? How did they grow?
Yeah.
You just do research. Don't jump in as blindly as we did. We were lucky.
My biggest advice to people would be really know what you're getting yourself into.
Right.
You don't want to do anything knee-jerk. You don't want to make assumptions. You want to understand the market, the industry, maybe come up with a business plan. Even if you're just thinking to switch jobs, the job market was really slow last year.
Right.
And it's still in a cooling off period. So if you're expecting that hot job market, name your price.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to have, if I leave my company, I'm going to have all these opportunities. I would say caution.
Yeah.
Caution. And it used to take about 3 months for people to find a job if they're in transition, and now it's closer to 6. So that right there should just tell.
Now that they've transitioned, that they're on the other side, they're whole.
Mm-hmm.
So somebody that was in a wheelchair, before they passed away is no longer in that wheelchair. So now they're standing, they're, they're smiling, they're happy, they're content, they're at peace. And so it's a wonderful thing to be able to give people that information. I did a psychic party a couple weekends ago, and I was happy, actually pretty ecstatic, when a couple people walked into the room, and I was like, you get all your stuff is together. You're in good shape, and they were like, well, tell me about that.
Right.
And so it's refreshing to be able to tell people that they're on the right path with their life.
Right.
Because sometimes people need that type of reassurance that they're doing the right things.
Yeah.
And, and then so some other cases, I'm telling people, I'm revealing stuff to people that nobody knows except for them.
Yeah. And you just did that, and I'm doing my best to keep it together. That's challenging. This is the first time on this podcast that something like that has happened. So I don't know if you intentionally were looking to go down that road or not, but
No.
it kind of gave me a sense of somebody who's on my shoulder. So thank you.
Yeah, you do. If you want a little bit more information, Al is with you.
No kidding.
Other people in other jobs, and everybody always complains about their job, I feel like, but it's a job. Like, that's what I think you have to make the most of your job,
Right.
regardless of what you do or where you do it. You're never going to be happy if you take on that mentality of like, you know, oh, this sucks, and like the grass is always greener and always looking elsewhere. But I think ultimately, like, I've been able to just personally find a lot of fulfillment over 10 years now of just being a part of, you know, your journey, your flag, and continuing to forge forward. I mean, it's easy to come into work. You know, it's not always easy, but it's easy to come in knowing like we do have control over our destiny in a sense.
Right.
And it's a blessing and a curse. And
Yeah.
it may not be for everybody, but you know, these people that we talk to, obviously they live it every single day. And, you know, that's what this podcast is for, is to get other people out there to understand, like, it's not impossible, because there's a lot of people that are doing it. And what is it, do you feel that you possess internally that led you to being now a business owner?
Yeah. I just wanted to make money. I mean, truly, that's what it comes down to. I'm a hustler. I've always been a hustler. I love to make money. I love to, I don't know, like, I guess spread my talents to multiple different clients and things like that. I love meeting new people. I love to travel. So obviously travel is not cheap. So I like to take my family on vacation a lot. So every single year we have at least a trip, because I feel like I'm so busy that it gives me the time to spend with them, my kids and my husband. So for me, I just kind of live an expensive life, and I know that. So I think my biggest thing was I needed to be able to make money. And the best way to make money is to kind of put yourself out there and to start a business and just like work towards it. So I can make as much money as I want or as little money as I want. Depends how hard I want to work. But over the years, I've just been able to grow and grow and grow. And it's not easy. Running a business is actually probably the hardest thing you can do, but it's amazing to see how the hard work does pay off.
At the time, I was employed as a veterinarian by somebody who owned a very excellent practice and a second practice, a satellite practice. And I was at the time on my own with a child. Didn't feel like I had a whole lot of money. A lot of it was going towards daycare, things like that. And, you know, I'm getting by. I'm doing okay. But she offered me the chance to turn around the second clinic that was not doing so well. It was actually in potential danger of not making it, which unfortunately a lot of businesses, I mentioned in my book, I did statistics, like a stunning number of businesses don't go beyond the first year, let alone the first 5 years. But I was offered the chance to see if I could turn it around and get a small, you know, a little cut of the profit, and that was all it took. I was like, I'll do it. We can eat more than macaroni and cheese.
We can get the name brand. Someday we'll be able to add some hot dogs in there or something.
Right.
Yeah, no, that's great. And then let's just looking at that, and it seemed like you probably learned quite a bit through that, because it seemed like it was success, and then you were able to repeat that same kind of process throughout your career. How often did you talk about SOAP, which I've never heard of that before? What is it? Subjective, objective analysis, and
Plan. Pretty close.
Plan.
It's subjective, objective assessment, but that could be analysis, and plan.
Right.
So the idea, so what that is, it's an acronym for a way of thinking in the medical profession. Actually, a lot of human-related professions use it for keeping records that are logical and don't miss anything.
As your cash flow starts to be positive and you realize, I can maybe hire somebody to take over. It's a transition to go from being the worker to being the supervisor. And it's a really tough transition. That first step is always very, very tough, because you need to be involved. And the worst thing you can do is hire somebody and then stand over their shoulder and tell them what to do. Mm-hmm. Because you hire them to do a certain job, but you got to leave enough leeway in that they can have their own personality in it.
right.
So what I tell my owners is that when you make that, he says, you need to sit down and put together a procedure and a policy manual for that person. So this is what you can do, and you can do anything you want. There's a story goes that, if you want your son to cut the grass, you you can show him exactly how to cut the grass. But for him, that's like okay, but it's really mechanical. But you tell him, look at when you get done, you see the neighbor across the street has really green grass. That's what I want to look like, and let the son figure it out. Okay, but I can cut it in a different way, and it'll look better. And you wouldn't do that.
Right.
And owners feel rightfully so that as they grow, they don't want to let go. They think they have to have control. Well, control isn't to be there all the time. Actually, control is better off if it's done through reporting. That you can sit down and look at.
I'll tell you what. If it wasn't for my music career, there's not a chance in hell our firm would be as successful as it is.
Yeah,
there's no question. And what I mean by that, because we're a team, there's no doubt. But I play a special role at the firm. I'm really good at generating business and winning cases. And a lot of people, you talked earlier in the podcast about, is it weird when people look at you and you had your musical background and now you're an attorney? The answer is it's actually, I can't tell you how many times people come up to me and they're almost like, hey, I remember when you were, in a ska band, a reggae rock band, ska band, and you dressed rock and roll. You guys thought you were Blink-182 at one point in time, and now you lead a law firm.
Right.
The reason why I was able to translate my musical skills, or the things that made us a successful band, into being a successful attorney and law firm leader, is because when our band started out, you had to constantly engage in shameless self-promotion. If you did not engage in shameless self-promotion as an aspiring rock star in the late 90s, when there was no social media, basically, I mean, there was MySpace, but it's not the same.
I was just going to say MySpace.
Basically radio, newspapers, and TV were your dominating media sources.
Right.
It's completely changed, but we had to do the type of thing where we would flyer every locker in our high school. We'd tell everybody how we thought we were the best band in the world, and they needed to come to our shows.
Right.
It was about getting rid of that barrier and just getting in front of people, relating to them, and getting them to love you and believe in you. It was constantly, come to my show, come see my band. When they came to your show and they came to see your band, it didn't stop there. You were building fans, lifelong friendships like ours, lifelong relationships, because you needed these people to come and see you, to pay the bills, to make records. And not only that, you're not letting them walk out that venue door unless you at least say, oh, hey, babe, by the way, did you stop by the merch stand and buy T-shirts, stickers, CDs, and posters and stuff to promote our band and help us out? I took that and I immediately translated my music skills, my marketing skills immediately. When I found out I passed the bar and I was a licensed attorney, I was one of the first lawyers, if not the first lawyer, to successfully engage in social media advertisement as an attorney.
Yeah.
A business by yourself, I think, is pretty intimidating, because you're like, I don't know what I'm doing here. But just like anything, it's just like, all right, that's a really long, dark, scary hallway.
Yeah.
Like, I'd be comfortable walking down it with a couple people, maybe.
Especially a couple bros that you go back with.
Always make sure you're faster than at least one of them, so the monster gets them, right? And you can keep running. But it's that mentality. It's like, oh, if I got a couple people here, we can do this. I'm not as scared, and just whatever happens. So it's like, it's always good to have partners, but at the end of the day, like, there really are no monsters down that long, scary hallway, right? You could just do it by yourself. It's just going to be a lot of work. That's all.
Right.
So picture 1984. I'm 9 years old. My sister is 12. And my mother says, we're taking a trip, but you're not coming with us.
Wow.
Yeah. And see, this is where I want to cry. I mean, it triggers. It triggers, like, it's just such an emotional thing. So they said, we're taking a trip. We're not sure when we will see you again. And they left. They said, they looked at my sister Monica and said, take care of your little sister. And they left my sister and myself with my aunt, Dorothy. She was 21 years old at the time, my mom's sister. She was the youngest. And said, take care of the girls. And, I just remember them leaving, and it's such a blur, but at the same time, I remember just becoming very independent, walking to school by myself, cooking for myself. I mean, all the things that, I don't know, I don't necessarily think a 9-year-old would do these days.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Not today.
No, not at all.
A GPS tracker and a phone.
Exactly.
I signed up for a procedure, Mike.
Yeah.
as you can see, the results are much better than Jeremy 1. Jeremy 2.0.
When did he stop?
Well,
Was it when you went out, when you had keeps?
Yep.
Oh,
Yep.
shoot.
You thought I was Jeremy this whole time, but we had Kian. We took my DNA. We created Kian so that Jeremy could live on. We killed original Jeremy. And by killed, he's on an island somewhere. He's happy. He's eating coconuts. He's fine. I'm the new Jeremy, and that's why you've seen such success in 2025.
Son of a gun.
Yep.
I should have never hired Drake.
Jury's out. Well, Drake's
If I would have
actually
known.
surprised.
I would have
Drake is
known all
actually
this
AI
time.
as well. Why do you think he's so fast? He gets things done so quickly.
So everything that happened since
Yeah, he
last
came
year.
after Kian.
Son of a
See,
gun.
it's all
I got to
making
spend
sense.
more time around the office.
Plot twist.
Right.
No, but seriously, I mean, that's maybe someday that will happen.
As a kid, even elementary school, middle school, whatever. Whenever I did something, I always just wanted to make it perfect. There's not a kid out there that isn't happy when you get a 100% grade when you get your report card back or whatever. So I strove for that without actually thinking about it. You just did it. If I did Lego, I wanted it to look like the picture on the box.
Right.
If I did a model car, I wanted it to look like the picture on the box.
And that wasn't easy, those fucking model cars.
Yeah. So, like, you'd get the decals, you put them in water, and you'd stick them on, and it'd be a little crooked. And if you tried to fix it, it would rip.
Just want to take
It'd
that
rip,
thing
you're
and
done.
throw it off the wall.
So weirdly, as a kid, I just wanted to make things perfect, and it would get really aggravated. You'd get really frustrated. You see little babies get really mad. They can't make something happen.
Yeah.
And it's the same thing, but it was like it consumed me a bit. I definitely wanted, like, I did a school project. It was like I wanted it perfect. I would do it a couple times and try to make it perfect. And I got really mad if I couldn't make it perfect. But you can't. You can't go through life doing everything perfect. Failing is that's another side topic of you have to be willing to fail. You got to be willing to fall and get back up and do it again. But I kept doing that throughout life, and there were certain things I didn't do to perfection, but, as much as possible, I wanted the finished product to be as perfect as it possibly could be, and you have to be willing to fail and do it over again if you need to make it right. And I had to do that for customers sometimes. You just got to make it right. I scratched that little piece. Well, then you get to either paint it or replace it.
Yeah.
Do it. It's a lot more than maybe it was 10 or 15 years ago about, like, just collecting rent and being a handyman. There's a lot more to it now than that. And so anybody who is using a property manager should be expecting a lot more than that.
Yeah. And what questions would you say those folks should be asking of someone like you?
Well, I think a couple things. I think, first you want to find out what somebody's experience is. For instance, I think one thing that helps me a lot is being an owner myself. I kind of have that lens that I can put to things, whereas
That's
I think
got to be a big benefit.
I think it's huge because I can walk in somebody else's property and have the same eyes. I'm not looking at it just like, hey, let's make some profit as a property management company. I'm thinking about, hey, I'm an owner. How am I going to respond to this situation? If you don't mind, that's one of the really important things that when I started, our number one value as a company is something I call triple win. I say that we're the home of the triple win. So what the heck does that mean? Triple win means there's three parties in what we do. Mm-hmm. There's the owner, there's the resident, and there's the management company.
Yeah.
So when we, carry out the daily things that we have to do to manage a property, how do we benefit all three parties? I think that's the big difference, that we try to bring to the market. We're not always successful.
I was like, you know what? I've already got this concept of administrative consultants. I've already got the name. I already know what I want to do. I've been laid off twice in 2 years, for decisions that I have no control over. I'm just going to, and it was like days later that I went and filed my DBA downtown.
I don't blame you for having that kind of fighting mentality of I'm going to do this.
Yeah.
Because you already gone through probably the worst that anybody can imagine. So
Yeah.
I give you a ton of credit, but
It's challenging
it
for sure.
does track.
Yeah.
In that you are a fighter, and I'm glad that you're fighting for so many companies around this area, and I'm glad that you were able to challenge, beat that challenge.
Yeah.
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 So, and I know that can be a challenge to talk about as well. I'm saying challenge a lot.
Life is not easy for a business owner, and it just gets worse when you decide to start your business. But
yeah,
it's either for you or it's not.
Marketing, but over the years, like through what you do and what reputation you've established, that then I've kind of tried to follow and share with the rest of our team over the years. That's what kind of carries us, is the proof is in the pudding, and we don't end up working with everyone forever, but we have a lot of clients that we've extended long, fruitful relationships with. And I think that reputation matters, because that trust matters. And that's, I think, what really kind of keeps us moving forward, is keeping that reputation right.
Yeah, and it's a lot easier to get good reviews with good relationships. If you're understanding why the person is doing it, you're going to have a better relationship, and it's going to be a better fit for the long haul. Because if there's too many questions, have open dialogue, and you're not doing it for the right reasons, it's real easy for the bottom to fall out.
Yeah.
Well, you're a business owner. I'm sure that
So I've been told.
stuff comes at you, and you have this huge list that starts building up of all the things that have to be done right away, the things that should be done right away, the things that should be done soon, the things that might be really good to do someday, and pretty soon you're kind of overwhelmed with that. So what this system does is it organizes all that really clearly and gets it to the point where you can come up with a plan that the quickest way to get a big difference fast.
Right.
Get control over your life and your business.
And I like that too, is just laying everything out and then looking at some of the things, if they might be small and they can affect multiple things. I think that's really, really smart. Work smarter, not harder. I like that approach. And that's something I think I subconsciously try to do. But sometimes the daunting stuff that are bigger, they get pushed aside. So you have to still make sure that the big things are addressed. Is that,
well, yes. And part of what I wrote about the book, I said it's a simple method to, manage your business, and get back to your mission, revitalize your mission. Because to me, the people I'm talking to aren't the people that have an MBA and know how to run a business. Those people, that's great, that's awesome. But a lot of people have a business. Maybe like you started yours, you have an idea, you have a dream, you have a thought, and you want to get it out there. And you do so, and then suddenly you realize, wait a minute, there's taxes and employees and a bank, and oh my goodness. And it can get overwhelming, and it starts to pull you away from the thing that made you love your business to begin with.
I actually thought maybe I can make my own website at one point, and then I realized as I was digging into it, this is a lot bigger pill than I can chew, right? So let me reach out to Mike and get that done. There's been some operations within the business when it comes to invoicing clients and different things, whereas like, hey, maybe I can figure this out on my own, but then realizing, you know what, I should probably bring a bookkeeper in. They can keep better track of this. So it's been, a little bit of a learning curve there. But for the most part, just the fact that I'm open to it, I think is very helpful, right? I think there's some people that they, first year in business, you don't have a lot of revenue coming in. You got to watch that bottom line so that you can stay afloat. And I think I'm just strategically saying, hey, well, I know it would cost me more money to do it myself than it would to just hand it off to someone else and let them do it for me.
I mean, the numbers say only 15% of you are subscribed. According to Drake, we got to get those numbers up.
That's a good point.
So please like, comment, and subscribe if you've made it this far through the episode.
It doesn't make a lot of sense that you would watch on a regular basis and not subscribe.
Yeah. I mean, subscribe just so you can make fun of us at the very least.
Yeah, right.
So I felt like I had the ability to kind of start my own thing. Did I know it would grow into my full-time career? No. I just really love telling stories and creating a community that likes to rally around good things. But Hope Rises was just a simple idea to tell stories initially, and never expected it to turn into such a global movement of goodness and charity and celebrities coming together to give back with us. Like, never in a million years did I expect that to happen. but I have a lot of faith, and you know, I just kind of went with every single day trying to make a difference. I actually just created this new slogan. It's
breaking news
I
here
know,
on the
breaking
Plant Your
news.
Flag podcast.
I did not share it yet, but I think it's a great slogan. So hope, HOPE, we help one person every day.
Ooh.
So
check.
That's it. Help one person every day. Did I expect us to have all these followers? No, but my goal was to try to help someone every single day, whether it's telling their story or making a donation or holding the door open for someone. All those little acts of kindness, they matter because life is so hard and life is so tragic sometimes. You never know what people are going through in their own lives or their own heads, right? So if we can just be kind, that's as simple as it is. And that's what Hope Rises stands for, is just being a good person, being kind, and leaning into stories that can make a difference and really impact people.
Do you think
one message I guess I would keep reiterating in this is like, dude, you come up with the best idea in the world, but the moment you realize you can pivot, it's like, and you should, just like do it right away, right?
That's a sign.
It was a sign. So it went from these like bachelor party prizes to like, all right, we can make boxes that are more business themed. So as we kept exploring that and working with different customers and just whatever, these things have been used for new hire gifts. They've been used for like sales and marketing things, whatever. And we started getting the idea of like, well, they're giving us their items, their cups with their logo on it, their whatever it is, and we're just packaging it in. Can we get this shit for them ourselves?
Right.
Like, can we just be a one-stop shop and do this? Because I'm talking to these people, and that's the other thing too, is like you're learning the challenges and pain points of these people's positions.
Once you're in it.
Yeah.
But if you're not in it, if you're not doing it, you don't see it,
None.
you don't feel it, you're just carrying on with your day. But once you actually start communicating with those people and they're giving you the idea based on need,
yeah,
you're like, I want to answer that need.
Exactly.
If
Like,
there's a need for it, I want to help.
Yeah. And they're like, this is a way for you to get more money that nobody's tackling right now, basically.
Right.
You just
I don't know how many companies I've gone to that they have no procedures.
Mm-hmm.
They just know how to do it. I taught this guy. I said, but you taught this guy what you want to do.
Mm-hmm.
May not fit this guy, but more importantly, is now you're telling me you're going to train the next guy. So by the time you get down to the third or fourth generation, I said, instead of building a pizza, you're out there making a cake.
Right.
Because unless you haven't written procedures and you approve the procedures, you end up doing this kind of stuff, and that it's your personality that's in the procedure. It's not going to be consistent enough. And that's what all big companies do. I mean, McDonald's does it that way.
Mm-hmm.
Disney has their own formulas.
Right.
But everybody does the exact same thing from a written document.
Grew fast. Right. And the problem with growing that fast was keeping up with the infrastructure, making sure you had the talent on board to handle the cases and handle clients' needs. And that was probably the biggest surprise and challenge to us, because we're like, how did this work so fast? Mm-hmm. I mean, it was probably a struggle for a year just to get the business on its feet. Mm-hmm. And then by year 2, I'm pretty confident we broke a lot of business expectations. I mean, the sky was the limit. We just took off. And in terms of certain responsibilities, one of the biggest challenges is one thing business owners have to understand is when you see talent, you have to nurture it and you got to elevate.
Right.
You want people in your firm that are leaders. You need to nurture talent and grow it and encourage growth. And that's and again, it's hard letting go of the reins sometimes, but as a business owner, as an attorney, you can't do everything.
Right.
So that's one of the things we've become very good at, that is finding talent and growing it.
What's great about this area that I found is the support is great. I mean, let's face it, whatever you want to do, there's a networking group, there's different groups with a lot of people who will support you and help you to try to get going, whatever that barrier is. Like, me, how did we meet? We're in a networking group.
Exactly.
I don't know how to do marketing.
Right.
I know how to do operations.
I know a couple things about it.
I heard that.
Yeah.
Right. So here we are. Right.
Yeah.
But operations, I know a lot. And so, if somebody has a weakness or something they don't know about, there's so many people here who are so willing to help. So I think that's part of the Buffalo magic that you're not going to find in other areas.
Wow, that was profound.
That one was funny.
Imagine sitting through this entire episode and not liking, commenting, or subscribing?
I don't know how you can.
I don't know how you can either. But if you do know anyone out there and you think they have a good story, a good business, a good tale to tell, they planted their flag, we'd love to have them on in 2026.
Yeah, it would be a huge honor to have someone recommend, to just almost like a nomination, right?
Yeah.
So that would be really cool.
I got a little feedback last weekend about the pod. Someone saw it, and
They might work for a company that rhymes with Schmoogle.
Oh, no. This is different.
Oh, okay.
This is a fellow Maryville basketball athlete.
Oh, very cool.
Said he saw it on LinkedIn, and
Yeah.
I was like, well, maybe next time share it.
Yeah, right.
But I forgot to say it.
Don't be shy.
I was too
Just
busy.
Share away.
I was too busy signing autographs and
Right.
it's no big deal.
I know. You got to make sure that you're checking yourself right before you get in.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get that.
So it's getting around.
Yeah.
We'll
No,
get it
it's
around
good.
a little more in 26.
We're growing, and I think that we're having a lot of fun along the way, and we've been talking to some great people.
Such an animal lover. She loves animals. We're beeping, so.
Can you hear me okay? Yeah.
I hear you here more than I hear you here.
Hey, everybody. This is Mike Bean here from Bean Media Productions. We've got another episode to show to you that is horribly done.
I got my dad gut. I just had a baby, and now I've got this fucking pooch. I didn't check my teeth. Did I have anything on my teeth?
No, do I?
No.
Sweet. That's good. Drake's using the shit out of that.
Yeah, Drake's like, that's...
Fuck you, man.
Am I okay to have my phone on the table? Yeah. Sure. Okay.
Absolutely not. No one warned me that you're going to put weight on. Did you put weight on? You're a pretty thin guy.
I lost weight.
Unique New York. Unique New York.
New York.
Warm up. P's and Q's.
Somebody left our scene marker at a shoot. So
That'd be so much fun.
Yeah, okay. Because I was like laser focused on you.
No,
and
that's
I'm like,
what
was
we-
I supposed to be like, hi guys?
my father-in-law always, he's like, good enough. I brought it to my mother-in-law and father-in-law, their attention.
Okay.
When they were putting a ceiling fan in, and he was like, oh, it's good enough. I'm like, that ceiling fan's above your bed, and I'm not confident that this is.
Oh, Jesus.
I'm like, I don't think good enough is right here.
That's not a, yeah. That's.
And then she, and then from there, she's like, no, think about it. He always says good enough. So that's like a common occurrence. It ends up in like the outtakes of pretty much everything we do is me checking my flow.
Oh, did we? Forgot about that. Unless you probably did it, didn't you?
Actually didn't.
I figured you did.
And we're out. Awesome job.
Yeah, you too.
Did you have fun?
That was great.
So what we've done right now is we've made Drake's job extremely more pressing at the very end of 2025 because of the fact that the microphone broke right before we started this. And then we also just muddled through this script. So
We could probably do one more intro just be safe. Do you want us to do another one, or you think you're good?
Happy New Year.
I
think we're good.
Drake's done with us. He's like, go back to your offices.
The fourth.